Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what it do, people? Hey, what it do? It's Monday. You know what that means. It's time to just kick it with just Kstylz. I might shorten it up, but we're just going to say kicking it with Kstylz. And today we have two legendary figures in the Atlanta Falcon world. Y'all see them every week, but you know they legends. Look at the bottom right here. We got Mr. Mad Mike.
They probably trying to figure out why I'm doing this. They call me the bad man of Atlanta Falcons content, so I might as well just play along with it.
Oh, you the Hulk Hogan? You the Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, I might as well. I might as well be that.
And then we got to my stage left, Mr. Jew Talk Sports. Calm before the storm.
What up, fellas?
It is I
just thought about this. The yin and yang. I'm the bad guy. You was the nice guy. He's the good guy. The yin and the yang. God, I feel like that. Good gracious. And y'all really are privileged. Y'all really are privileged. Y'all got the bad and the good on one show. And the guy that's sitting right in the middle of it all. Kstylz. Come on, bro. Y'all privileged. Come on. Y'all, like, seriously, that's greatness. You got greatness right here. This is why the heavy hitters are the heavy hitters.
Exactly. You got two great. We got three greats together. Like one good, one bad. You just call me the enigma because you don't know what the hell. I'll be good one day.
Right.
So basically, how we doing today, fellas?
Hold on. They asking me why I got the Titans. Duh. Our head coach. Duh. We gotta show him some love. Duh. I did this purposely. Okay. Everything was purposely.
Well, then this will be a good instance of the yin and the yang because he got the Tennessee Titans hoodie. I got the Falcons hoodie.
Come on. Yin and the yang.
Exactly. That's just gonna be the theme of the show. The good and the bad. Which actually is the perfect segue to our show. But before I get to that, let me go ahead and give the pregame shout outs. You know how we do around here. Got the people in the building. Devon Stansford in this thing. We got Nick Turner 31. Reggie C2K. I see Asia Green in the building. We got Joseph Thornton in here. What's going on? Good. We got Wallace Smith. We got J Dash. I don't know if he just want to be called Jay, but we're gonna say J Dash today. It kind of give it kind of a rapper name in it. We got Justin El Safi. I hope I said that right. And Miss Maggie T in the building. Yeah, and we got ATM 3405 and Millie Mills. Okay. Got a lot of people joining us tonight. Guess somebody said they like the new background. Hey, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's all Kstylz. This is all Kstylz. It's definitely not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm confused if I want to be a Titans fan or a Falcon fan.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Oh, man.
Hey, man, they probably wanted that anyway. You might as well play along with it.
Yeah, you're right. Play along with it. But yeah, definitely. But definitely, we're going to start this off right. We're going to be talking about needs as far as Falcons needs and free agency, and what do you think is they're going to be their most logical needs? We're not talking about fantasy like getting J.J. Watt and getting all these big name players and think you can get $100 million worth of groceries with $2. We can't do that.
Right.
We got to be logical with this. And I'm gonna go ahead, Jew. I'm gonna go ahead and let you kick this one off. Like I said, we got to let the calm before the storm. The good guy started off.
Most logical needs. Are you saying like a player that we might sign in free agency?
Yeah, like the first part of the question is pretty much like, what do you think we need as far? How do you think they're going to attack free agency as far as position wise? And
to be honest,
go ahead, man.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't mean to cut you off, but to be honest, I think first we need to start off with trying to re-sign the players that we have. Like we got to decide on what players are staying and what players are going. We started the cuts, last week with Rico Allen, Allen Bailey. So I feel like one of the biggest needs for our team right now is the safety position and the defensive line. So first off, it's like this Keanu Neal. I'm trying to see what we're gonna do with Keanu Neal. Like we cut, Rico, but I still think that they're kind of debating with the Keanu Neal, like what they're gonna do. I don't know if you guys seen it earlier, but I believe it was Adam Schefter that said teams can actually start tomorrow putting franchise tags on players. So I'm wondering, what we're going to do with Keanu Neal. Like, are we going to try to place a tag on one of our players, or he's going to be one of those guys that they're going to actually negotiate a contract with? Also, on the defensive line, Dante Fowler. Those are the two biggest names on our team, as far as on the defensive side, that are like everybody's saying might get cut. They're saying somebody's going to get cut. We don't know what big name is going to get cut. It's either out of Keanu Neal. He's a free agent. But it's like, are we going to bring him back, or Dante Fowler because he didn't produce last year? So a lot of people are saying maybe we cut Dante Fowler and try to sign somebody else and try to save some money that way, or maybe we just draft his replacement. You never know. So I think those are the biggest two as far as on the defensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, it's a lot of names in the offensive side. I'll say, first off, the running back position is the biggest need. And we heard Arthur Blank come out and state that the biggest weakness of this team has been the running game. So on the offense, everything starts with the running game. Like, are you bringing back Brian Hill? Are you trying to just roll with Ito Smith and Quadre Olesen? Are you trying to bring in a veteran running back, or are you trying to draft a running back? Personally, if it was me as the GM and I was making this decision as far as the running backs, I would try to bring back Brian Hill because he'll be cheap enough where you don't have to pay him a whole lot of money. And then I would still draft a guy at running back. I wouldn't bring in a veteran because we've seen over the last couple times we've tried to do that, it's kind of come back to bite us. When we brought in Steven Jackson years ago, it came back to bite us in the butt. The same thing with Devontae Freeman. We gave him that huge contract. It came back to bite us. And then we signed Todd Gurley last year, and it came back to bite us. Even though his contract wasn't bad because he still was under contract with the Rams. He had that 1-year deal for like $6 million, I think, was left on his contract. So it wasn't that bad of a deal last year. But I just feel like at this point, the running back position is our biggest need when it comes to offense. Everything else you can draft. Like we have enough wide receivers. It's just finding out who you want to pay. You know what I'm saying? Do we want to pay or extend a guy like Calvin Ridley? Are we going to extend a guy like Russell Gage? Like, we don't know. Because, Calvin Ridley still got one more year under that rookie deal. So I feel like with him, it's kind of like we're playing we don't know. We don't know where they're going with that. But we could see once the draft happens, if we draft another wide receiver, then it could actually come down to being like, maybe Calvin really is out the door. Like, if we bring in another quality receiver, you know what I'm saying? Like, that might tell us where we're heading. Like, hey, we're trying to bring in competition because we heard Terry Fontenot state we're bringing in competition at every position. And a lot of Falcons fans, like, we keep talking about Matt Ryan, but it could be some guys that we really like. That could be we bringing in competition to get rid of some guys that we think, and we might have to overpay. So, be careful what you wish for. Like, we keep talking about Matt Ryan, but as we stated when the new regime came in, every single player.
Hallelujah. I've been telling y'all this. Man, look, Jude, I mean to cut you off, but they've been on my neck. They've been on my neck for saying the exact same thing. I said it over and over again. Do not be surprised if Grady Jarrett is among that, Deion Jones is among that, and your boy Calvin Ridley. Why? Because we have no idea what these guys are thinking. We don't know. This ain't me hating on this man. We have no idea what direction they are going. They could say that they want to run a 2 tight end set rather than a 2 wide receiver set. They want 1 big time receiver rather than 2 big time receivers. We don't know that. We have no clue. So get off my damn back, people. I didn't make the damn rules. They made it. Okay? I love Calvin Ridley. But the truth is he's not safe. Calvin Ridley has holes in this game. He has major holes in the game. And one of them is his ass don't like contact. I'm sorry. An offensive coordinator who has not had his guy, Calvin Ridley ain't his guy. Matt Ryan ain't his guy. Julio Jones ain't his guy. So if that right there, if that narrative fit Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, why in the my bad? Why in the bloody hell? Why in the bloody hell does not hit Calvin Ridley? Why does that not pertain to Deion Jones and Grady Jarrett? Because the last time I checked, the defensive side of the ball has been freaking garbage for the last 3 to 5 years. And Grady Jarrett is a part of that. So why does that pertain to Julio Jones and Matt Ryan and doesn't pertain to Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, and Calvin Ridley? We don't know. We don't know if he likes Grady Jarrett. Maybe he wants to play more of a three-man front, and Grady Jarrett doesn't fit a 3-man. We don't know that. So, please, just look. I'm only here to tell you guys nothing but the truth, man. And that's not as far as the questions, since I'm already there, I might as well just go ahead and answer it. I'm sorry, dude, but
no, you're good.
As far as the question is concerned, man, I honestly think left guard is the position because I'm tired of seeing that big ass wall of nothing. That's what he is. He's the big wall of nothing. All right. He might as well be damn. He might as well just be invisible. Put the goddamn invisibility cloak on his ass because he ain't been doing crap. Okay, that's what he is. We talking about Carpenter. That dude ain't worth crap. So I think free agency they're going to go out and get a veteran. Not offensive linebacker, but offensive lineman left guard to hit that position, and they're gonna get a left guard to take his position later on, and maybe later on in the draft. So that's what I think. That's the biggest need for me because I think Arthur Smith, this guy wants to be physical, and he wants his lineman up front. And right now, this line for the Atlanta Falcons, these guys are young, and the only one that really, when you look at it, that is quote unquote, it's probably Jake Matthews. He's probably the only guy that's really, when you look at him, he's probably the only one that on that line because you got everybody else is young. He can still preen these guys. You got Caleb McGarry, Hennessy, and you got Lindstrom. Those guys are young. He can still bring these guys to be whatever he wants. Jake Matthews is probably the only one that's looking am I safe? Jake Matthews is probably the only one. Everybody else they're still young. They still have their career ahead of them. Jake Matthews is pretty much in his prime. So it's like I said, I think left guard is going to be a position that you see in free agency that they go out and pick out somebody that's really, really good or experienced.
All right. Before I get to my answer, I'm gonna go ahead and get in a couple of these comments because they really coming in good today. They coming in like good, good steak. They coming in. Harrison the Bunny talking about, can we get a round of applause? Dirt Cutter got hired at Bojangles. Hold on. I gotta give him the boule bougie clap. Hold on. Everybody liking the new background. Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Shit. Hey, like I said, try change it up a little bit over here, but it's all good. Yeah, like I said, we got Floyd Donnelly. He said Brian Hill and Olsen is all set. I don't like Mike made the best point. This is what we've been saying the whole time is I'm just gonna put the Kstylz spin on it. We don't damn know.
Yeah, no clue.
They got us doing the Bird Box challenge. We don't know what's going on, bro.
We don't know nothing. We don't know anything.
But we got Big Low in the building. What's going on, Coach?
Happening.
Michael Walker. Like I said, I think a lot of people kind of agreeing with y'all as far as Calvin Ridley being a trade asset, because that's what MDC 51 said. Calvin Ridley is a trade asset. Like you said, ain't nobody's job safe, and I think that's the best way you put it.
They did Odell Beckham. They brought in new head coach and they did the same thing. It's like they did the same thing to Hopkins. If Hopkins got traded, you think Calvin really is off limits? Come on, let's be real, dog. Let's be real. That's just honestly, like I said, that's just honest truth. I don't want him to go because I think he still has a huge upside. When it comes down to it, it's like he's not safe, man.
Hey, I'm glad everybody's still calling him former friend. I actually had a comment up here earlier. That I lost, but I'll get back to it. But yeah, like I said, we appreciate everybody tuning in. What like I said, free agency. I'm actually, if y'all wonder why I'm looking down at my phone, I'm actually looking at the Falcons free agents right now, and yeah, it's I only see one name, that one unrestricted free agent that I think they're going to sign, and that's going to be Darqueze Dennard.
Yeah, I like him.
Unfortunately, I think Younghoe Koo might get cut. I think they might let him walk. I don't know if they're going to be willing to pay the money for him, especially a kicker at that position.
I like Koo, Pro Bowler. I'm not paying that. If I'm a new coach, I'm not paying that if I'm a new coach.
Unless they gonna franchise tag the kicker.
We good on that.
You gonna franchise tag Koo? Got Rich in the building. What's going on, homie?
What's that, Rich?
But yeah, like I said, unless you talking about that, that's the only way I say that I think they'll have to keep Koo. Is they gonna probably franchise tag. That sounds weird as hell to franchise tag a kicker, but
man, if it ain't more than Anderson, I don't.
He got the nation says he's disappointed some of these fans want to trade Whitley. I wouldn't say you had to be disappointed.
We wanted to trade him. We said he's an asset. He's a real asset. This is a new head coach. Go ahead, Kstylz.
You just said exactly what I was gonna say anyway. But yeah, like I said, logical sense, it would definitely be free safety, because like I said, you got some veteran presence there at that free safety position, or strong safety, however the hell, whatever safety you need, because we need a safety. We need a safety that can cover. Man. Unless you're talking about moving Isaiah Oliver to free safety permanently, I don't really see anything. I don't see anything else that can really be there for the taking. But realistically, you're not going to get no top tier player out of this free agency class. You're going to get a third tier player, which means you're going to get somebody's third string, and hopefully you can make a starter out of. So free safety, like I said, I agree with you, offensive guard. And I think they might go running back in this free agency too. I think they'll go running back.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Being them guys, they're guys, yeah.
But they'll let Todd Gurley walk, and then they'll resign him. Just so they can test out the market.
Whether or not Todd Gurley is eligible for compensation also. They may be able to get a compensation pick depending on how long he paid during the season, because he was a starter. So they may get like a seventh a 6th round compensation pick for him. Just depending. I gotta do the research on it. If anybody know that question, please let us know.
Right. And we got some free agency suggestions here in the chat too. Twan McGee said get Janu Smith for cheap.
I like that. I can see that happening.
I can see that definitely happen. Oh, I know what the thing was. It was Andrew Bato was talking about, we're going to keep the second tight end on the team, keep Smith. No, he's going to get cut.
No, he's the first one. He should have been the first one.
He's going to get cut. Because he's gonna look for a fullback that can actually block down the field.
Oh my God. We got the worst blockers on one team. Luke Parker and Keith Smith. Bro. Bloody hell.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. There was somebody said something here. I need y'all to hit this. MDC 5L said move Deion Jones to safety position. Let Fourier run that middle linebacker. He can do it.
Be good on that.
You serious? Is that a serious?
Hey, like I said, he's coming up with suggestions. We ain't got to get on him too much. Well, the chat talking about, boy, hell no. I don't know what the hell you talking about. But I can't see that happening because, like I said, converting a linebacker to a safety is a lot harder than converting a safety to a linebacker.
He got the speed to be able to do it. He got the hitting power to be able, but you got to have the hit play safety. Safety, like that's a hard position. He have to worry about the change of direction. I think change direction, with safety versus linebacker play more downhill. A safety is primarily going backwards. So like I think that's like not to poo-poo on that idea. I think he has the speed. Yeah, he has the athleticism to be able to do it and the knowledge, like he's a very smart player, but I don't think he has the hips to be able to play safety. And that's the only reason why I'm saying no, because we know Debo he got great hands. He's a ball hawk. Like I'm not worried about his hand, but I just don't think he has the hips. Because when you're going backwards as a linebacker going backwards, and you have to turn and go this way and that way, and then you have to turn right again. If you get it wrong, that's a lot of stuff. Like that's a lot of athleticism using your hips, and that's the reason why not Keanu Neal, but Ricardo Allen pretty much he's out of here because his hips, his athleticism, he can still run fast, but them hips, it's not the same.
Hey, like I said, Desmond Capel pretty much doesn't agree with what everybody's saying. Like I said, it's a whole different beast. Like you said, if your change of direction ain't good like that, he can't play safety.
For some reason, I really like Hawk. I don't know what it is about that dude, but I just really, when I look at him, he just looked like a damn freak of nature. I just want to see what Hawkins got, man. He just looks like a safety to me. Like when you look like a safety, that you already intrigued me. Like
he got the size, bro. He's about 6'1", 206.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he has the versatility to play both safety spots.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's a better strong safety.
There you go.
I feel like he's a better strong safety.
I was gonna say the same thing, Kstylz. I think that Hawkins is a strong safety. So for whatever reason, if we can't re-sign Keanu Neal, if you guys go back and watch the game we played against Green Bay early in the season, before he got hurt, he made some crucial tackles. I remember he had like one on the goal line, but we made that goal line stop. He had a big hit. So he's one of those guys that's a hitter. He's not really known for his coverage skills, even though he had an Odell Beckham type highlight interception when he was at Cal. He was more of the hitter on that team. If you go look, he's more of a strong safety, like you were saying. He's a guy that can come down in the box, and he's like one of those box safeties, kind of like a poor man's Keanu Neal. So if we happen to lose Keanu Neal, he's asking for too much money. They might just roll with Hawkins, and then just bring in a young guy to play the free safety, like in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be smart, to be honest, because we just used the draft pick on Hawkins last year. So the dude is super young, and he has a skill set. So they might just roll with him. Like Dean Pease. One thing about Dean Pease is he's going to know how to get the best out of these players. Once he watched the tape on these guys, like we're talking about Isaiah Oliver, he might just end up moving Isaiah Oliver to free safety. Once he watches his tape, he might look at it and be like, man, this guy can hit, he can tackle, he has the range, and he has the size, because Isaiah Oliver's a big corner. He's like, what, 6'1", 6'2"? So he's another guy that can we might actually move him, and then we might be set. And they might just bring in safety in the later rounds, because all of the safeties that I've been looking at are like in the first couple rounds. But if we want to save those, first, second, third round picks on like the trenches, offensive line and defensive line, they may just go with a younger guy or just bring in a veteran safety, to have them in the room with those guys, but let the younger guys be like the starters. Just have that veteran there just in case somebody gets hurt. Like Sherrod Neesman, we had him on the team. I don't know how long. Sherrod Neesman been a backup since like 2016. So
what'd you say? He's the minor league player of the team,
bruh.
He Boris Diaw.
Hold on. I gotta address this because I've seen it go through the chat here a little bit here. Earl Thomas, no. No. No.
I like Richard LeCount, but his tackling is just not. I don't want Richard LeCount tackling nobody. I'll see him at Georgia.
Like I said, you'll have a better chance of getting Andre Cisco from Syracuse because he's not going there. At Reginald Banks, we ain't forgot about Michael Walker. Michael Walker he's one of those Swiss Army knife linebackers. Like I said, like Dean Pease and this defense gonna be. They're gonna love this type of guy here because he can play all three linebacker slots. And he got a little bit of pass rushing ability as well. So it's just going to be depending on the matchup and how he fits in. So he doesn't have a definitive role. He's kind of like our Isaiah Simmons. Like I said, we don't know. And
Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons out of this draft. He's a similar to a player to like Michael Parsons. Because Michael Parsons can play inside linebacker, outside linebacker, come up on the line and pass rush. But that's what makes us so versatile because, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Kstylz, but that's what makes our linebackers versatile. With a Foye Oluokun, he's a similar player as well. He's just like a Michael Parsons too. We seen him last year, rush the passer. That's why I said this 3-4 is going to unlock a lot of skill sets. We've already talked about it. Our best pass rushers was our linebackers last year. Let's just be real about it. And those guys were not on the edge most of the time. They were just coming up the A-gaps most of the time. So we put those guys on the edge with the athleticism that a Foye got, Dante Fowler, Michael Walker. I mean, we have the talent. It's just applying the talent and knowing how to use it. You know what I'm saying? That's our biggest issue. It's not a talent issue. It's just knowing how to use the talent, period.
ATM 3405. His dude said, only difference is Michael Walker ain't with the weirdo stuff. If y'all ain't watched the previous show, we're not going to explain what that is.
I'm gonna just make this clear real quick with this Michael Parsons stuff. If he go into that locker room, these are guys that got mortgages, kids. Hey, look, I ain't worried about him doing no hazing. If anybody gonna be getting hazed, it's gonna be him. I ain't worried about him. Like everybody's talking about, I don't know if we should draft me. Arthur Blank don't like players that have that bad history, that bad background. Hey, look, if you can play, you can play. I'm not worried about him coming in this locker room and messing with a Grady Jarrett and these grown men. These are grown men. He ain't coming in here bullying nobody. If anything, he gonna be bringing a donut.
Yeah,
he gonna be carrying the bags and carrying the helmets. He the rookie coming in. So I ain't worried about him coming in and ruining the locker room.
Debo is from Louisiana. You know them boys in Louisiana do not play, so I ain't worried about that.
They will bust him in his shit. He try that stuff.
Exactly. Y'all must ain't seen Foye Oluokun after the game in these post-game press conferences.
Exactly.
That dude is a walking muscle. He ain't worried about Michael Parsons coming in the locker room trying to change anything.
We got a question here that said, wonder if the Falcons will ever get to that 2016 point ever again, minus the heartbreaking finish. It all depends on, like I said, we got the culture change we need. It just got to get executed. It's a different culture. we ain't got no cookie cutter suits around here. We got some roughnecks. We got a roughneck mindset. So I think we can get back to that point. But it's just all about finishing.
I think so.
Finish.
I think so. It's more so. It's like people. This is why I continue to say this about Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is every coach's wet dream. Like he's literally every coach's wet dream. Why? Because you don't have to worry about him. You know Matt Ryan is going to do he's going to do even the minimum. And I hate saying minimum, but he's going to do his job. If you need him to just focus on throwing deep balls, he's good enough to be able to do that. If you need him to just check the ball down and let your defensive run a game, Matt Ryan could do that. There's nothing Matt Ryan can't do in this league. There's nothing he can't do. He can run if you need him to. You've seen him in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Kyle Shanahan's offense, you have to be a mobile quarterback to play in that offense because it's a lot of moving, a lot of running, handing the ball out. Those stretch plays, quarterbacks have to run. That's why quarterbacks don't last in his offense because you have to move, you have to run. And Matt Ryan won an MVP in that offense. So I'm not worried about Matt Ryan. I'm not worried about him. So when it all comes down to it, man, like I said, man, the Falcons can get back to 216. Why? Because of Matt Ryan. I keep saying this over and over again. You want your quarterback to not make mistakes. Matt Ryan doesn't make mistakes. I mean, this year was the perfect example of an offense that did not have a running game. Bro, we did not have a running game from game 1 to game 17. 0 running games. We like, bro, I don't even remember I don't know if we had a running back that rushed for 150 yards in a game. We didn't have that. So as long as Matt Ryan is there, this team is still we lost 8 games by 1 score or less. You win those 8 games, guess what? You're 12-14. You're 12-14 if you win those games. So this team is good enough. This team is definitely good enough. Like I said, sometimes those that what's his name? The quarterback for the coach for the old Raiders, John Gruden. John Gruden, when he said to the Falcons, this is the best 4-12-14. I don't know what there was at the time, but that was the best 4-12 team that he's seen in the history of his game. And he's been around the game 30 years. So that ought to tell you, I'm not saying this to be a homer. If another coach who's coaching us, we went out to whoop his ass after he said that too. So that tells you that this team is very good. So all you need around Matt Ryan is just a running game. You put a running game around this man can win another MVP easily. What you think, Jude?
No, I completely agree with you. I feel like we've been stating this since last season. After every single game, when we were doing our keys to victory every week was run the ball. It got to the point where all my keys to victory was just run the ball, just attempt to run the ball. It don't even matter if you don't get anything. Just attempt over 25 rushes in the game. And just to kind of piggyback off what you said, Mike, when we looked at the playoffs, that was the reason why I didn't pick Pittsburgh to beat the Cleveland Browns, because everybody kind of overlooked all season. Pittsburgh, they know how to close games, but they didn't have a running game all season last year either. They just had that short passing game. And I kept telling people, they started off, I think, 10-0, 11-0, they was rolling. And I told everybody later on in the season, once it got cold outside, they started to lose games. They struggled down the stretch of the season, late in the season, and they stumbled into the playoffs. And I knew when they matched up against Cleveland, the Browns, I said, they're going to lose that game because the physicality part of it. When you get in the playoffs, you have to be able to run the ball and play defense. And the Cleveland Browns were just a more physical team. And when is the last time we can say that about the Pittsburgh Steelers? The Pittsburgh Steelers are known for running the football, but they got away from that last year, and they kind of became like the Falcons, where they were just trying to throw the ball all over the field, and it came back to bite them. That's the reason why they got blown out in the playoffs. Like the Browns blew them out. The reason they blew them out is because they had, that running game with Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and then they had that defensive line, Myles Garrett. And I've talked about it numerous times. The way that you finish games, like we talked about our Falcons losing all 8 games when we had the lead or 1 possession games. How do we close out games? Running the ball and pass rush. If you can't do neither of those things, you can't win in the NFL. And that's pretty much what killed us. Like everybody keeps talking about Matt Ryan. We didn't struggle to score points last year, to be honest. Matt Ryan still had an average year. It was mainly we couldn't rush the passer. We had one of the worst defenses, and then we couldn't ice games when we had the lead. We couldn't run the ball to drain the clock. And that's what we've seen in that 2016 Super Bowl. Like she was just talking about the Super Bowl, we can get back there, and I believe we can win it because if you look at this regime, what they're saying, Arthur Smith in the run game, that's what he does. That's what he does in his offense. His offense is predicated off the running game. And then Dean Pease, he's predicated off of pressure and getting after the passer, getting after the quarterback. Those are the 2 things that I was just talking about being successful in this league, is being able to run the ball and being able to get after the passer. If you can do those 2 things, you can be successful.
All right. Let's get in a couple more of these comments before I hit this right here. I want y'all to think about this while I hit the comments. So Asia Gray just said, do we need to change anything on special teams? But here's a comment here that I actually saw that I've actually seen quite a little bit here the last minute or so. Was talking about it will be signed James Conner for the low. You got Quadri Olison. You don't need James Conner, to be honest with you. You just got to play. Hold on. And since y'all said that, let me put this up here so everybody knows what the hell we talking about. Hey, run. Hold on. Let me get that off. Right quick. Run the damn ball.
My time. We need to keep that up.
The damn ball. That's the biggest difference between us being 4-12 and 12-4.
Mm-hmm.
So Asia Green basically asked, do you think they need to change something on special teams?
I say yeah.
Real honestly, they just need a returner that's willing to return the ball.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say, Kstylz. We need to get a return specialist. Like, to be honest, we should have kept Ken John Barner because he was the best return man we've had. I don't know how much money he was asking for at the time, but stop going after these guys like Brandon Powell. And if you got a specialist, like, go out in the draft and get a specialist that's known for punt returns. Like, we have all these guys. I talked about it. I think when me and Twisted was on doing our live feed or our live show, we have Zacchaeus on our team. Zacchaeus in college, if you go look at his college tape at the University of Virginia, he was a punt returner. When we drafted him, I thought that's what we were going to use him for. We used him just as a receiver, but he was a return specialist. So use this guy as a return specialist. Like, why we keep converting, like we were talking about the Justin Hardys of the world, all they want to do is fair catch all day. Use these guys' strengths. When we had Turbo Taylor on our team, he was another guy. Taylor Gabriel was a speedster, and he's a guy that could be a return man. But we were using him mainly as a receiver. It's like at that time, I think we were using Eric Weems, who was washed up at that point. It's like, use these guys that you have. Like, we have all this talent on this team, but we're not using them. Last year, I think it was another guy that was on the practice squad. They activated him like game 16 or 17. I forget his name, but he was a return specialist. We drafted him. Either drafted him or brought him in as a free agent. I forget what the kid name is. I think his last name is like Rowland or something like that.
Yeah,
Chris Rowland. Yeah, he's a return specialist. So I'm like, forget this brand. Like, it's always like we're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Like, play guys to their strengths. Like, you wouldn't put Keith Smith back there to catch a punt, would you? Like, but that's what we do. We do dumb stuff. Y'all remember last year when we put Keith Smith out there to run a curl pattern? Why is he running curl routes? He's a blocker. Why is he out there trying to catch passes? Why are we even splitting him? Every time we split him out wide, I start laughing. When we in 4 wide, why in the world is Keith Smith running out to the edge? He's not finna run by nobody. Like, bruh, that is goes to show you right there. That's all Dirk Cutter. That's Dirk Cutter.
That's why he's the second tight end.
Dumb, man.
He got more targets going in. He got more targets going his way than damn Luke Stalker and damn Jaden Graham got combined.
Nah, he get more targets than Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst should be getting all his targets. Hayden Hurst won't get targeted enough.
Exactly. Man, but yeah, like somebody said, like I said, a lot of people agree with Chris Rowland. Like you said, I was surprised I didn't see him out there. I mean, I've said it before. The reason why this wide receiver core looks the way it does is because you have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and a bunch of return guys, or supposed to be return guys. You're not scaring nobody with that. Like I said, are you going to be afraid of Zacchaeus and Brandon Powell? If we saw it in the Denver Bronco game when Zacchaeus caught that big bomb, but outside of those games, we forgot they was even on the damn team half the year.
Because they never used them on reverses, and like you got to use those types of guys on reverses. You got to be able to put fear in the defense. You had those guys just out there running fly routes, like, bro, like use them. They're athletes. Even with Calvin Ridley should have been used more often as a reverse guy. He's good on those types of plays. You saw he caught a touchdown on that very same play. So it's like, you got this dumbass former friend, dumbass. He's not using the damn players to their maximum ability. And that's something that we've said all year long. If you watch this all year long, we say you have to maximize players' strength, their ability. You saw that for 3-5 years that Dan Quinn has been here. Those guys have absolutely done nothing to maximize their talent whatsoever. Even they've misused Grady, they misused Deion Jones. The only 2 players that they've really maximized is Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. That's it.
I want to try to tackle this question right here. This is from J Dash. That's going to be his rap name for the night, J Dash. He said, what do y'all think about Marcus Williams? He's young and has talent.
Bro, I can't get over that meme. So hell no. I can't get over the meme. So hell no.
Yeah, I'm good.
Can't afford him no way.
I'm good, dog.
Can't afford him.
We can't afford him.
Right. Just as you say, he's young and he has talent. And
I can't get over that meme. I just can't get over the meme. I'm good on that one.
I'm gonna say it like this, just like I said with Tyler Davidson. If the Saints ain't trying to re-sign him, it's for a reason. We went out and tried to get Tyler Davidson. They let him go for a reason. Anybody that they really want to keep, they keep. You see, they didn't let go of Onyemata. You see, they didn't let go of Shelvin Rankins. I don't want nothing from the Saints. If they letting them go, it's for a reason. Like, as much as I hate the Saints, I despise the Saints. One thing I can say about their front office is they're very smart, and that's why I love Terry Fontenot. Whoever runs, in that front office for New Orleans, they have a good scouting team, because they forever coming out. Sean Payton, they're forever bringing out some new player that I ain't never seen before, and they're using them in the proper way. That's the difference between us, and we were talking about it. Sean Payton forever is going out and getting one of those little gadget guys, but he knows how to use them. He knows how to draw plays to their strengths. Taysom Hill, they beat us with Taysom Hill. How are they able to beat us with Taysom Hill? Because he didn't have him out there throwing 5-step drops. He had him playing to his strengths. Even when they had Teddy Bridgewater the year before, they got Teddy Bridgewater paid by the Panthers. I knew that wasn't going to work out, because everybody knows that Teddy Bridgewater doesn't have the strongest arm. But they were able to win those 5 games because Sean Payton knows how to tailor each game after each quarterback he had. So that's why with the Saints, I think they're good. As far as like a quarterback, everybody's panicking. They got Jameis over there for a reason. It's a reason we didn't see Jameis a lot last year, and that's because Sean Payton was hiding that guy. He didn't want to play Jameis Winston, and the same thing happened with Teddy Bridgewater. Where if he would have actually played him last year, being that he was on that 1-year deal, teams would have wanted to go after Jameis Winston. Now, because we didn't see him a lot last year, teams don't know what Jameis Winston really is. We've seen him with the Buccaneers, but we haven't seen him under Sean Payton's system. So it was a reason that he did that. Like, one thing about Sean Payton is he's very calculated. So a lot of people thinking like Taysom Hill is going to be the starter. Trust me, Taysom Hill is not the future for the New Orleans Saints. It's a reason why they were stashing all year long, Jameis Winston at that third position as quarterback. They just didn't want us to see what he can do. But we seen in that playoff game, when they put him in the game for that one play, what did he do? He threw a touchdown on that trick play. I think it was some type of flea flicker, and he threw a touchdown in that I think it was either the wild card game or the divisional round. And that just goes to show you, knowing your personnel, knowing how to use your players.
That they paid Taysom Hill like $20-something million. So they wasn't gonna play. Nah, I'm about to say that must be the greatest job in the world in football. To only play like 7 plays a game and get damn near most of what most backups get. Ooh. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to throw that out there, but Marcus Williams, no, can't afford him.
I'm good on that one anyway.
You have a better chance of getting Kevin King from the Packers, and we seen how bad that looked.
Oh boy,
we might as well resign Casey if we're gonna do that. We might as well resign DeMonte Casey before we bring him in.
Exactly. Let's see what else we got. Reggie C2K said, "What do y'all feel about Philip Lindsay?"
No, we already have Ito Smith here. He's like Ito Smith. He's a scat. He's a scat back. He's like 5'8", 100, $190. He's a small guy. He runs hard. Don't get me wrong. He runs really hard. But what we need is an all-around back. We need a bigger all-around running back that can catch, that can do everything. We don't really need somebody like we already have, like you were just talking about. Why bring in James Conner when you have Quadri Olesen, who pretty much does the same exact stuff he does, short yardage back? We don't need that. We need an all-around, like a legit number one. That's why I say either go out in the draft one of these running backs out of college. I don't want no retreads. Like, I'm done with re-signing running backs from other teams. I'm done with that, bro. Like, I'm done. Unless we bring it in, like, we know we don't have the money to do this, but unless it's Derrick Henry or somebody like that, I'm good on. And to be honest, I don't even want to pay a running back no more. Like, I don't know if you guys heard, but Christian McCaffrey's on the trading block. I don't know if you guys heard that. They're looking to trade this man. They're trying to get Deshaun Watson at all costs, but from what I'm hearing, they're trying to trade Christian McCaffrey, but it's because it's not smart to pay these running backs all of that money. Look at Saquon Barkley with the Giants. They paid him all that money and he got hurt. Running backs are going to get hurt because they get a lot of wear and tear on their bodies, especially if you feed them the ball 60% of the time like the Panthers are. So I'm good on paying like running backs, man. We need to go running back by committee. If you look at any of the teams that's balling out, the Chiefs, they don't have one legitimate running back. They do it by committee. The Buccaneers even last season, they had Rojo, and then they signed Leonard Fournette. But they had like 3 or 4 running backs on their roster. So I feel like we need to go running back by committee. I'm not paying none of these running backs top dollar.
Well, Stafford just gave you another example, Ezekiel Elliott.
Exactly.
Woo. Gave him that money. He ain't been the same since.
Exactly. But I see this name a lot here too. I'm going to give Twan McGee his love for this one because I actually did my thoughts on this guy and this Ramondre Stevenson. He is the definition of a goal line back. I'm going to just tell you that now. He's a goal line back. He big as fuck, and he runs big as hell, too.
I do. I like that. But again, I think at this point in time, when you got guys like Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley to pair that with a guy like Hayden Hurst, those guys are going to see a lot of open space. So you get a guy who is a scat back open space, you're going to see some dangerous things. So a guy that's just a straight line running back, I don't really want on this team. I want guys who can, who's essentially, a scat back who can move and can do multiple things. I think that'd be absolutely like I said, we already have Carter Olison. We already have Edo Smith. You get a guy who can do everything to pair that guy, and he's wide open in the open field. I mean, that's what made Tevin Coleman so. I mean, Tevin Coleman ain't been the same running back since he left the Atlanta Falcons. Like he's making plays, but like he hasn't been the same because he got that. He doesn't have that open space that Julio Jones and the Falcons, mainly Julio Jones, were giving them. They was wide open most of the time. He had wide open lanes. It's like with his speed, he could take it to the house. So it's like you give a guy with speed, athletic ability, one-on-one, that space that Julio's occupying, man, that'd be sick. I mean, you look at Devontae Freeman. That's why Devontae Freeman ate so much, because of Julio. The space that he was occupying, like the space that he had free, all he had to do was make one person miss, and that's it. He gone. He damn near gone to the house.
Yeah, but I definitely agree. Like you said, like I said, you want to have that versatility. You want that unknown commodity back there. Like like you said, Derrick Henry, we call him Thanos for a reason, but that's just running the ball. Like you said, he's pretty much a one-dimensional back. Which I will be I will sound crazy enough to say this, but I think Derrick, and I think Mike might have said this before, but Derrick Henry kind of held that offense back just a little bit.
Yeah,
because he didn't have the threat of the passing game. He can run that, he can tote that damn thing. I give him credit on it. But as far as a receiving threat, nah, it wasn't there.
I kind of pointed that out on one of my film breakdowns that he was okay. He was a great runner, but when it came to the passing game, that's the reason why they end up losing the game, because once teams knew they could shut the running game down, they didn't have to worry about the receivers. Why? Because all they had to do is spread them out. They ain't got to worry about Derrick Henry no more once they got a lead. They don't have to worry about him. So he held that team back. As crazy that might sound, he really did.
All right, so we got Andrew G here. He said, y'all think they're going to re-sign Laquan Treadwell? He said he'll be cheap. And he probably fit the offense.
You just said it. I'll just let you repeat what you just said.
He'll be cheap. But he does one thing well. He does one thing well that outside of Julio Jones does in this wide receiver core, and that is a big body blocker.
Yeah.
The red zone threat, which is Arthur Smith.
We gonna say that.
Goddamn, there's too many Arthurs. I'm used to one. There's too many Arthurs, which is pretty much a staple in his offense, is to have big receivers, because you have to look Corey Davis, AJ Brown, Janu Smith. They ain't really had no small receivers like that. Most of their small receivers were their backs.
Yeah, except Humphreys. They had the one guy, Humphreys, that was a slot guy, but they didn't have a lot of small guys. And I think Khalif Raymond was the other guy that they had, who was like the Zacchaeus. He was a guy that they had was like a special teams fly pattern type dude. But other than that, they had big guys.
In which both of those receivers AJ Brown had 1,000 yards and Corey Davis almost had 1,000. So yeah, they ain't give a damn about them little small ass receivers they had.
Right.
All right. Hey, we're actually getting a lot of questions here. Like I said, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, this is good. We want to see this interaction here. Ask us some questions. We got people asking about Travis Etienne.
That's my guy right there, man. That's the guy that I want.
Go ahead, Drew. But I think this is the absolute perfect pick for the Falcons. We're talking about guys who can do multiple things. I think he's a perfect one. Go ahead, Drew.
That's my guy, man. That's who I want the Falcons to take. Travis Etienne. The only problem I see with Travis Etienne is you're gonna have to be willing to spend one of those top 2 picks on him. Like he's not gonna be around, I don't believe, in the 3rd round because he's one of the top running backs. Like out of college, he's always like they thought he was gonna come out his junior year and he went back to college. They thought he was gonna come out last year, but he's that game breaker. To me, he reminds me of Marshall Faulk. That's why I compared him to in my video. Y'all go check out my channel, Drew Talk Sports. I broke down Travis Etienne. He reminds me of Marshall Faulk. He can catch out of the backfield. He can run. He can block. He can do everything. And that's the type of running back that we need. That's the type of guy that we need because he can come in right away, be that top guy, and you can use him in different ways. So he'll come right in day one and be that number 1 running back. He has a ton of game experience as far as on a collegiate level. I think he played all the way through his senior year. So this dude, I like running backs that can hit their head on the goalpost from anywhere. He's one of those guys, if he hit a crease, you're not catching him. Like once he hit that crease, he gone. I don't know if y'all remember that one game we played against the Saints when Devontae Freeman had like that 60-yard touchdown. That's Travis Etienne. If you go cut on his college tape, he has multiple 40-yard plus touchdowns. So I love Travis Etienne just because of his speed and his versatility. You can line him up against linebackers. He's just like an Alvin Kamara. He's just like an Alvin Kamara, Marshall Faulk, that guy that can do everything at the running back position. So he dang near, when you look at him running routes, he looks like a wide receiver, just like Alvin Kamara. When you line Alvin Kamara outside, he's a mismatch. And that's pretty much what Travis Etienne is. And being that I know Arthur Smith is creative and would know how to use a player like that, he won't hold our offense back. Like he's talking about Derrick Henry, you can use this dude anywhere on the field. You can line him up out wide like a wide receiver, like Calvin Ridley, and he can actually go and run and actually create separation against the corner. So that just shows how talented the dude is. If you go cut on his tape, you're gonna be like, man, this dude is explosive, and that's what we've been missing. We're missing that explosive player because last year, if you go look in our running game, we didn't have a lot of 25 plus runs. We didn't have a lot of explosive runs. So I definitely think Travis Etienne is the guy that we need to look at. It's just, are we willing to spend that one of those top picks on him? That's the only thing that makes me nervous about a Travis Etienne. Another guy that you guys might want to check out, and I seen his name in the chat earlier, is Tuba Hubbard. He's similar, played at Oklahoma State. He's another guy that's fast like that, can hit his head on the goalpost, like can score from anywhere on the field, can catch out of the backfield. The only difference is he's not as elusive as a Travis Etienne. Etienne gonna make you miss like with jukes and stuff like that. Tuba Hubbard is mainly a straight line runner. So once you hand him the ball, he's one of those guys. He runs fast straight, but he's not good at eluding players. And that's kind of like Ito Smith. To me, Ito Smith, they call him like the best 5-yard runner. Ito Smith is the same way. He's not really going to juke you a whole lot. Ito Smith is more quick than fast. And that's kind of how Tuba Hubbard is. Tuba Hubbard is just a straight line runner. So if we decide to wait maybe to the 4th or 5th round, Tuba Hubbard could be a Travis Etienne type who can, score from anywhere. And you can use him out of the backfield as far as catching the ball. But pretty much those are the two guys that I've been banking on. But Etienne is a game breaker. You get him, first year he's gonna rush for over 1,000 yards. He's that type of running back. He's a workhorse.
There's one running back you left off the list that actually plays just like both of them guys. That's Michael Carter out of out of North Carolina.
Yeah,
he's the same exact type of back. He ain't the sexy name out there that everybody talks about, but this guy right here is kind of like that as well. Tony Wright says he don't like Etienne. He said he's too light in his lower areas to him, and he don't feel like he can carry the ball even 20 times. This NFL, you don't need a running back to carry 20 times. He don't even have to carry 20 times. He just need 20 touches.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say something about that Kstylz because they were saying that on my channel as well, that he's too small. No, he's not. If you actually go look at his size, like I went and compared his size to like guys that are in the league now, he's built like Aaron Jones. Nobody calls Aaron Jones too small that plays for Green Bay. He's pretty much the same size as the guy that plays for Green Bay, Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones has been to a Pro Bowl, and he was one of those guys, if you go look, was setting the league on fire because he can do everything. He can catch, he can run. So he's not too small. Aaron Jones is the starting running back for Green Bay, and for the most part, gets most of the snaps up there in Green Bay. So I don't really think that ETN is too small.
I got another guy for you guys. Everybody said he was too small before he got in the Falcons. Drafted him, I think, it's second or third round. And y'all gonna lose y'all fucking minds when I say this. But Jerry's Noah. Everybody say his legs.
I knew it. I knew he was going there.
He said he was too small.
I knew he was going there. He said second or third round. So
crazy legs. Y'all know, man. That man got a crease. He got the hell on. So it's like, look, man, don't worry about that in the NFL. Like, what you need in the NFL is guys with skill, with a particular skill set, and you can utilize that with other backs around him. And that's what the Chiefs, that's what makes the Chiefs offense so hard to defend, is because not only is Patrick Mahomes a running threat, but you got Hill and you got Damian Williams, you got Kstylz, like you got all those guys in the backfield. Like you don't know who's going to get the ball at any given time. So, like that's the thing, man. Different skill sets makes a offense damn near impossible to guard. It's like Julio Jones. Julio Jones can do everything. You get him go deep. He can go deep. He can take a slant. He can block. Julio can even take a reverse to the damn house. He can take a screen to the house. Julio can do it all. And you got Kevin Ridley who can go deep. You got Hayden Hurst who can take a damn hook to the house. It's so many different skill sets that you have on a particular offense that's going to make the offense dangerous. It's not just one, this guy fast, this guy fast. This guy is quick, this guy fast, this guy can, he's a straight line player. Like, that is so difficult. That right there is so difficult to defend when you got so many players with different skill sets. It's hard. People don't understand how hard it is to defend the Atlanta Falcons. And this is the reason why we get so damn mad, because we're not running the ball, because we got guys and you got so many different skill sets, you don't even use them. We're not even using Hayden Hurst. He out here blocking the halftime because sorry ass Luke Stalker can't damn block.
Lou Stock. Oh my God, I miss Levine Toilolo. Looking at Lou Stocker. I miss Levine. I miss Levine. Levine couldn't catch worth a damn half the time, but at least he could block.
Kstylz, before we get off this topic, I thought Mike was gonna say Warwick Dunn when he said, "Hold up," he said Jarris Norwood. I thought he was gonna take it a step further. And say Warwick Dunn, because Warwick Dunn was one of those guys. He's smaller than ETN and he's smaller than Aaron Jones. And he was an every down back. He was running the ball 25 times a game. And that dude was doing that over a 10-year career. He did that with Tampa, and then he came to Atlanta with Michael Vick. And that's all we did was run the ball when we had Michael Vick. It was him, TJ Duckett, and Warwick Dunn. And Warwick Dunn was like a workhorse. He just knew how to protect himself. He knew how to follow his blocks, and he knew how to stay away from like the big hit. So it ain't always about size, to be honest. Because Warwick Dunn was a dog. Go pull up his highlights. I was watching his highlights the other day, and I was like, man, Warwick Dunn was a beast. To be to his size, he was a beast, man.
Shit, goddamn, Maurice Jones-Drew was a fucking beast.
Ooh, yeah.
That motherfucker ran over Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
And Ray Lewis didn't like that at all.
No, absolutely not.
That motherfucker was 5'6", 210. I was like, oh my goodness, this motherfucker ran over Ray Lewis. I said, yeah, he is not gonna like this at all. Yeah, let me see. Archangel had one right here, man. We might not even go to the net. We, like I said, everybody's coming with the questions here. Like I said, I'm liking this vibe right here, right now. So Archangel's asking, could Kyle Pitts secretly be the best pick at 4 in the first round, being that he is the third best player in the draft and the top 50 best in this year's ahead of all the quarterbacks and offensive linemen?
I don't think so. I don't think he's still a skill position player. I'm afraid of skill position players. We got one at with the Atlanta Falcons with Calvin Ridley, and I didn't like that pick at all. Like, I thought that was absolute wrong pick to make at that position. To be honest, like I said, I love Kyle Pitts, but like, we don't know if we're gonna run the damn ball. Like, we got to see it. We got to see it to believe in it. And like, until I see it, I'm not gonna be cool with drafting another skill player. I love Kyle Pitts. I think he'll be an amazing player in the NFL. But without a running game, without an offensive line that's consistent, without a defense that's consistent, what the hell good is a Kyle Pitts?
Run the damn ball.
Right. Yeah, I want to run the ball, man. I don't want all these damn skill players. I'm sorry, bro.
We need all the big uglies up there. That's what we need.
Yes,
we need an ugly team. We had an ugly team. They got too cute after that.
Right. We did.
After they let Harvey Dahl and them go, and what did Tyson Clabo go? This team got real cute after that.
Mm-hmm.
They turned into Instagram models. It didn't work.
Wow, that man did not just say that. That man said Instagram models. Wow.
They used to be on black. What they said, they used to be on what was that? The AOL chat room. This shit went to Instagram real quick. Oh Lord!
Everybody ask me what's up with my Titans. How many times I'm gonna say it? Our head coach.
Hey, I'm about to say they said your ass is set tripping right now, but
I know that's why y'all asking. I know exactly. I could have easily took the damn thing off, but I did it on purpose.
Man.
He did it so y'all could talk about his ass. That's all he did.
Come on, man.
Mike about to get jumped in the chat.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, Nathan. Oh, hold on. Nathan said it best. Hold on, I'm gonna get back to that. Yeah, folks used to call our offensive line, and Dominic Sue called our offensive line dirty at a time.
Wow. Yes. Yep. Because they used to chip block them all the time.
They used to chip block. And twisting fingers and shit. That's what we did.
Yep. That's what we need. Yeah. So I'm done with all these skill players. I'm so done.
and then the damn Falcons decide they wanted to draft Peter Cons the next year, and shit went downhill after that.
Woo, boy. Should have never let that damn biker pick offensive lineman. That man is a biker. He ain't got no business. I'm not talking about a damn biker or a motorcycle biker. I'm talking about a whole bike.
We just a whole bike. Hell no. Everybody come like everybody getting on your ass talking about, come on, Mike, you got to do better than this. But yeah, like I said, Ramondre Stevenson is kind of coming up a lot in this chat. I guess they want that like I said, because I was about to say Ramondre kind of reminds me of TJ Duckett in a way. Like you say, just big body, run your ass over. But he doesn't really have that versatility. Like I said, if you're just going to use him just straight for goal line purposes, you could probably pick him up in the 5th, 6th round. But if you're talking about as far as going high on him, like I said, he doesn't have the versatility. Hold on, Sean Jones just threw a name in here we ain't heard in a while. Said ball is dirty. He said he was a damn right scoundrel.
He was.
And then they ended up getting
dirty.
Then they ended up getting Wayne Gandy right behind his ass too. So still going.
Yeah. Wayne Gandy, yeah. Oh man, y'all wouldn't know that name probably went all over y'all head with that one, but
what? Wayne Gandy was a motherfucking monster too. Hold on, here we go. Wallace Smith actually got a good question here. I'm gonna let y'all hit this one up. He said, we pick a quarterback in free agency. Do y'all see us still might draft a quarterback in the later rounds?
Yeah.
Yep. I say yeah. We're gonna draft a quarterback. It's just when we're gonna draft it. We don't know, but we're gonna draft one because you can't really, to be honest, personally, I wouldn't go out and sign a quarterback in free agency unless we have the money. Like right now, y'all know we broke. We don't have no money. So I wouldn't bring in no free agent. I would literally bring in a younger quarterback in the draft. Like I would draft a guy, whether it's late, and just let him sit behind Matt Ryan. Because like a lot of people are saying, bring in a veteran guy that can help Matt Ryan learn the system. But Matt is one of those guys. He's gonna pick. How many coordinators have Matt been through now? 3, 4, 5. Like Matt's gonna pick up the system. Matt's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league. I'm not worried about Matt Ryan figuring out the system. Matt gonna figure it out. I'm not worried about that. Bringing in a younger quarterback, that's happening this year. They let us know that when they cut both. When Shaw retired and then they just let go of Kurt Bigkirk, that let us know that they drafted a quarterback. We just don't know when they're going to do it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So like I said, our guess is as good as y'all's. Like I said, you might get Justin Fields or you might get whatever. I still think that Zach Wilson's going to be the number 1 overall pick. So I'm still standing on that because his name is coming up a lot now, way more than everybody else so far.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't see Mr. Trash Biscuit going that high, but somehow he went that high. So
exactly. Andrew, he said Tariq Castro Fields, corner out of Penn State. I don't know too much about him.
Nah, I ain't seen this tape yet.
I don't know too much.
But I guess he was saying, what do we think about him? Like I said, I haven't really seen Tariq Castro Fields. I have to kind of take a look at him a little bit more. So I can't really make a guess on that.
I'm not doing
it. I haven't seen him.
You're going to have to pay Terrell. Like, they've already made that financial they have already committed to him by drafting him in the first round anyway. So they're going to pay AJ Terrell. You bring in another corner, you're essentially saying that AJ Terrell isn't your guy. So I think at this point in time, if they bring in the corner, it's going to be in the 3rd, 4th round. But you've already made that financial commitment by drafting a cornerback. Because, like I said, that 4-year, 5-year is done, he's going to command a lot of money. So
what's going on? What did I'm about to say? You repeat that? I think you kind of went out there a little bit, Mike. I hope I didn't go out.
Okay, hold on.
Oh.
No, you didn't hear that?
You sitting here waiting in anticipation and shit. Like, what the heck?
Yo. No,
can you
already financially committed.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
I said you just already financially committed to him. That's it. You already financially. That's all I said. He financially committed to him, so I don't see it happening.
Right. I think he was talking about more so getting drafted in like the later rounds. That's if you're trying to get some depth.
Yeah.
But I like I said, listening to all this draft hype going on around here, it's like we looking at, okay, we see Trevor Lawrence. Everybody's saying Trevor Lawrence number 1 overall. Right. The last 2 weeks, just like I predicted, Mel Kiper's stupid ass is talking about Zach Wilson, and everybody and their mama is falling in love with Zach Wilson going to Jacksonville. I just said this about 2 months ago.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And Mitchell Trubisky, like I said, nah. Can't afford him no way. At the end of the day,
nope.
You can't afford him. I think he'll ADS. I guess he's coming up with all the quarterbacks that he wanted to use to replace Matt Ryan for next season. Like I said, Mitchell Trubisky can't afford him. He said Mitch is beater Matt. I guess he's trying to say that Mitchell Trubisky is beater Matt Ryan.
Don't even read that.
Shit. Oh, we're just gonna let the chat room take care of that. Let me see.
Should be ashamed of yourself for even typing that bullshit.
I had to take a sip on that right quick. But I say, whatever you smoking, bro, I think we all need some of that. I don't see it. I don't see it. Mitchell Trubisky better than that? Nah. That's the case. Nah. The Nickelodeon valuable player? No. No. I'm good on that. Hold on, wait a minute. Ice Wallow, wait. Says Zach Wilson looks like the Milky Bar kid. The hell? I don't even know what that is.
Nah, bro.
Okay, hold on. Miss Maggie T saying we rewashing players and hanging them up to draft for this season. We broke.
Yeah,
got that. We broke. What'd she say? We broke.
We broke.
We assed out broke.
No, we trying to cut back some cap. We over the cap already. We trying to cut players to get under the cap. Ain't got no money.
Shit. We still, like you said, we cut $10 million on 2 players. We still got their struggle.
0. We ain't got no money for y'all.
We can't even use IOUs. Here goes Sean Jones with the I'll trade Matt Ryan for whatever comments he do every show. He talking about he'll trade Matt Ryan for a Stephanie Mills greatest hits album.
Oh, we trade your ass for Matt Ryan, all right? Trade your ass for Matt Ryan.
He do it every show. That's why I don't even trip on. He do it every show. You know, he fuck with
every
show. Quentin Willis said, might as well get Joey Harrington out of retirement if we talking about Mitchell Trubisky.
Man.
Wow. Damn. That's
bad. I like this one. This is Ghost Pepper. So what y'all thought on Carlos Basham Jr.? Like I said, they call him Boogie for a reason. So anybody that got a nickname like Boogie, Booger, or whatever, he's cool with me.
He look like
I think he asked me that question too. Mm-hmm. And I did a video on that. Like I said, Boogie got a motor on him. The motor is there. He doesn't really have a signature pass rush move, but on effort alone, you can work on that. But the effort right there is what's going to get him paid.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got a question for you, Mike. Let me see. It said Concerto Grande says, should we get Michael Parsons or Patrick Surtain if we trade near the 10s?
Well, I say it again. When you draft a cornerback or any player in the first round, you pretty much are committing to that player financially. So if you draft 2 corners in the first round, you're essentially saying that AJ Terrell is not your guy, and his contract is up. He's going to be gone because there's no way you're going to keep AJ Terrell after you pretty much. You saw what happened to not only Desmond Trufant, but
My bad.
They were going to get rid of Desmond Trufant. They are financially, and I don't know why the hell he even thinking giving away Trufant over some damn Robert Alford, but that's exactly what they were doing. When you sign 2 cornerbacks like that, you're essentially saying that other cornerback is eventually going to be gone. So me personally, I'm drafting Michael Parsons based on that itself. You never take 2 corners in the first round if you're going to keep both, because financially you're going to have let's say both of those guys be Pro Bowls. You're going to have guys worth $160 million on one, because both of those guys are going to get $60 million contract. So that's $60 million. That's $120 million per cornerback on one side of the ball. I'm not doing it. So I'm taking Michael Parsons based on that alone. Plus, he already fits what the Falcons doing. You have Michael Walker, you have Dion and Foyer. So I think that's a dynamic quadruo. Is that the right word? Quadruo.
Look. I'm not finna use actual terminology like that. We just gonna be a whole bunch of
okay, we just made a whole bunch of. I'm gonna call it a quadruo. Okay,
that sounds like some bad medicine. Hey, Devon Stamp, I guess he'll talk about that guy. He said he ain't smoking God. He said he's smoking Nanja. Nanja. Oh man, y'all ass is crazy with this. Let me see. They said, okay, Sean Joe said he be messing with us. We knew that. Like I said, we don't take that stuff serious. So basically, Asia Green talking about we can't even afford food stamps. Damn.
Wow.
EBT card. And somebody said our salary cap got a hole in it or something. So damn. Yeah, they giving up that. Hey, like I said, you might want to write a couple of these things down because we get a lot of draft requests and looking at stuff.
Oh, gracious, y'all gonna make me have to go through this entire.
Exactly. We all finna go through this and be looking at this. Hell, y'all might put us on some players we haven't seen yet.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh man. But yeah, we're gonna kind of wind it down tonight. Like I said, I appreciate everybody tuning in and kicking it with just Kstylz tonight. Like I said, we want you to get your Mondays back. Definitely make sure you subscribe to not only just Kstylz. Yes, that's the whole thing. What a pimp named Slipback said, you got to say the whole thing. It's not Kstylz, it's just Kstylz. And also Atlanta Falcon Nation. Make sure you follow both of these. This is gonna be your homework for tonight.
Right.
Just K. I'm still on the road to 200. Atlanta Falcon Nation's on the road to 1,000. We getting there.
Absolutely.
We just hoping y'all gonna be on the ride with us to get there. And like I said, make sure y'all thumbs up this show tonight. Because you can do that in 2 seconds. That's all we had. Just like it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let my people see it. Like I said, Jew Talk Sports, Mad Mike Sports. I appreciate y'all kicking it with me tonight, talking this football stuff. I guess everybody liked the new background. I might as well go ahead and keep it, right?
Just keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it.
I might as well keep it. But like I said, I'm gonna let these guys go ahead and plug away what they got to plug in, and then we're gonna be out here. Go ahead, Drew. What you got for me?
All right, before I do that, I want to just answer this last question. He said how I feel about Asante Samuel Jr. I watched his tape. I like Asante Samuel Jr. He's just like his dad. I think Asante Samuel Sr. was more of a ball hawk, but Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback out of Florida State, I've seen his tape. I like this kid. He's not the biggest guy, just like his father, but one thing I like about cornerbacks is cornerbacks that are not afraid to tackle. And for him to be a smaller guy, he can come down, he can tackle, and he's good at in man coverage. And we're going to need some cornerbacks that can cover in man coverage because we know Dean Pease is going to be bringing blitzes from everywhere, meaning it's not going to be a ton of zone coverage like we've seen out of the Falcons in the past. It's going to be some man-to-man coverage. So I like Asante Samuel Jr. He's one of those guys, like I said, that can not only play zone, but he's excellent in man coverage. And he's another guy that can bait you. So I think he's a player that may be around in the third round, maybe even the fourth round. So I definitely think Asante Samuel Jr. is somebody we should take a look at because I'm with Mike when he was talking about taking a corner in the first round, second round. I don't think we should take another corner in that top with that top pick. We just took AJ Terrell last year in the first round, so you don't need to go out and take another corner with the top pick. We need to address the trenches with these first picks. It needs to be the trenches, or Michael Parsons. I like Michael Parsons because one thing that Mike had said about re-signing players, another thing that would be good about signing a Michael Parsons to a lesser degree is if we're not able to afford to pay a Foye Oluokun, who's going to be a free agent next year, you have his replacement, Michael Parsons. He does pretty much everything that a Foye Oluokun does. Now, personally, I want to keep all of our good players, so hopefully we can afford to keep a Foye Oluokun by any means necessary. But if he happens to walk and we do draft Michael Parsons is a guy who can play inside linebacker as well as play that outside linebacker. So if we do lose a guy like a Foye Oluokun and we do draft a Michael Parsons, we have his replacement already ready to go. Just kind of how when we lost Bondre Campbell, we was able to just go ahead and plug and play Foye Oluokun. So I definitely think Michael Parsons would be a valuable asset if we bring him in this year. And Mike, the word you were looking for, my wife put it in the chat, was quartet for the four linebackers.
She's smarter than I am. I'm just a football guy.
Exactly. We just use KISS. Keep it.
You got it.
I'll keep that in mind.
You got it.
You said a quartet.
A quartet. Yeah, that's the teacher coming out of my wife. Y'all know my wife's a teacher, so that's the teacher coming out of her. But with that being said, I just appreciate each and every one of you guys continuing to watch, tune in to AFN every Monday night. I thank Kstylz for allowing me to jump on, chop it up, talk football, Falcons football. You guys definitely go hit that like, subscribe button, not just on this video here at Atlanta Falcons Nation. Y'all definitely hit that subscribe button. Also, Jew Talk Sports. We're on the road to 1,000 as well. We're almost at 800. We're about 20 some subscribers away. So let's get me to 1,000. We're like 120 away from 1,000, but I'm definitely shooting towards getting past that 1,000 before the new season kicks off. But I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. We know you don't have to tune in, but we really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like, you guys make up Atlanta Falcons Nation. As we always say, it's not just about us here, but we here to entertain you guys, give you guys the best Atlanta Falcons content, give you guys the stats, the facts, and nothing but the truth. Because we know ESPN, they're going to give you the narratives. We're going to give you the facts. They're telling you we're going to sign J.J. Watt. We're going to sign all these big players. But we know we're in cap hell right now. We're in cap hell. Like, we can't afford to go out really and sign none of these big guys, these big name guys that are out there, unless we're cutting guys. And even with cutting guys, I've been watching a lot of things with its videos as far as cap and how cap works. Even when you cut players, sometimes it's not to your benefit. And so all you Matt Ryan haters and Julio Jones haters, they're probably going to be here through the rest of their contract. From what I've been seeing this year, if we try to cut or trade Julio Jones, we would pay more against our cap with trading him than keeping him. So it makes no sense for us to get rid of none of these guys. At this point, even like a Dante Fowler, it's not going to benefit us this year because he's only in the second year of his deal. The only thing we can hope we can do with a Dante Fowler is maybe stretch out his contract like we've been doing, which TD was doing for years. And that's why we're in the cap hell that we're in now, because he kept restructuring players. And now all of those players that got restructured, it's time for them to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So we did all that restructuring, and now it's coming back to bite us. So at this point, we just need to let these players play out their contract, and we got to hit on these picks in the draft. Draft is going to be the most important part of our team this year. We have to hit on the draft. Like in 2016, we killed it. We're going to have to kill this draft again. It's not going to be in free agency. I really think the draft is where we're going to have to make the most bank for our bucks. Because right now we have no money. Like, we're trying to get under the cap. We're still like, from what I've seen, we're still like 15 to 20 million over. And that's what cutting those guys, bringing it down 10 million. So we appreciate you guys. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Mike. Like I said, you guys stay tuned. I'm going to have a lot more coming for you guys. Y'all gave us a lot of names that I got to look into this week. So y'all guys just stay tuned. I'm going to have, a lot of content coming about the draft, because the draft is fastly approaching and free agency is heating up. So you guys just stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about this. All I got to say about Thomas Dimitrov. You remember the great line from Friday? Man, let's jump him. Let's jump him.
Let's jump your ass down.
Let's jump him, okay? Let's jump him. That's what we do. He put us in so much cap. He was the reason for all of it, man. Let's jump him. Everybody, let's just jump him. Okay?
I just be the one like, man, sit your ass down. Hey, what he said? He said, I got mind control over Debo. When he be around, I be quiet. When he walks away, I be talking to him.
Oh man. Hey man, you guys continue to you guys actually entertain us. You guys have no idea how much you guys entertain us. I truly appreciate everything that you guys have done, not only for myself, but Atlanta Falcons Nation, Jew Talk Sports, Just Kstylz, Miss Maggie T, everybody, individual channel. So if you like us as individuals, as a group, just do us a favor and just really just go. You can see us and you can see everybody's channel in the description of each video. Doesn't matter which video, just pick a video and then subscribe to everybody's handle and just show us some love. So I truly appreciate it, man. I think I probably need to. If something, don't go out and beat up. Don't go out and beat up Thomas Dimitrov because I don't want to get arrested for it. So just forget what I said right there. Just forget what. Forget with that, man. So,
Atlanta Falcon Nation is inciting by. No, we not.
I don't want to be like that. Don't do me like that. So,
hey, make sure y'all hit the Discord up too.
Yeah,
put the link in there because I still don't know how to do that stuff.
Okay.
But definitely check out the Discord. Like I said, the chat be popping here, but y'all can definitely continue the conversation over there.
Absolutely. The after show is what we call it. So let's go ahead and check that out, man.
They talking about the Eagles gonna release Alshon Jeffrey.
They might as well. They about $35 million damn cap.
What you said? Next thing you know, they're gonna be the replacements. They're gonna be the King Falcons and
the replacement.
You'll see cars and stuff. Yeah, no. Jamal Grant said, "I'm down. Let's jump TD for real."
Oh man, you don't shit me, man. Hey,
boy,
man.
this is crazy. But what do we say, Mike? You ain't gotta go home.
You gotta get the hell up out of here.
Until next Monday, you kick it with Kstylz again. We out.
Peace.
Peace.